In the Photoshop Beta, you can now use chromatic aberration effect to create all kinds of unusual colour designs. You can scale, you can rotate, you can modify the intensity and much, much more. Here's a few ideas how to use the effect. They're slightly odd how they work. What you can do, go to Filter and Parametric Filters. And I'm going to select this one, Chromatic Aberration, and it creates a really interesting colour effect. And you can modify it and change the red, change the green, and well as blue and so on. You can create all kinds of, and change the angle. But you can also apply it just to a selection. But you'll notice once you've gone back, you do undo, it also creates a background copy. So you might like to go all the way back to make certain you've just got the background. Otherwise it confuses things. So then go to Select and select Subject. Got this strong subject here, obviously this magician. And I'm going to go for Select and Modify. And I'm going to expand it just a little bit, maybe go for 10 or 20. So click OK. So just expanded, and also select, modify, and a bit of feathering as well. So I'm just going to go for, say, 30. Click OK. Now I can apply the parametric filter to that selection. So again, go to the him, and you've got this panel, and you've got loads of other ones. But they're great combined, so you shouldn't just use them just as a one-click effect in any way. So click Chromatic, and you can see the result there. And with that, that's applied just to that selection. So if I reduce this down, and I can modify it, tweak it in all kinds of different ways again, it's only applied to that selected area. And you can see it over here. Again, it creates another layer. It's actually a smart object, so you've got a smart filter there, and you can modify even more and combine as well. So here's all the properties. Now I'm going to go with medium. You could put it to ultra. Ultra is a bit slower. And you can also, if you want, just go for draft. And that's effective sometimes for creating some very unusual, rough image effects. But I'm going to go with medium. And also I've got some presets here. You can use those if you want to quickly apply it. You can change intensity. So increase the intensity, and you can see the result of that. Also, you can change the angle, so you can make it go at like 45 degrees. Also, you can change the blur intensity and glow intensity. Though, to be honest, most of the time the glow is very subtle. The settings are not great. They're not really obvious. The slider sometimes a slight change and the result will fly off the screen. Especially if you go down here to transform. So if you wanted to slightly apply some scale, so go for 1.6 and you can see the effect there. And again, with the selection, it creates even more interesting, like hollowing out effects. But you can also go the other way as well. So you can just create slightly smaller, or flip it over, or maybe create multiple copies. So you can see the effect there. And it does create some quite interesting combinations. But I'm just going to keep it as one. But you can also, if you want, go for rotation 45. So you can again rotate that effect. Or you can just keep it as 0. Now there's also a repeat effect. That's quite interesting as well. I've applied that in multiple other tutorials. So once you've got this effect, you think, yes, that's what I want. Going to go with that. You can now go back to the layers, and you see in here, you've got parametric filter, and you can just double click on this, and then you can use blends. So you can just go for darken, so you don't have to use normal, linear burn, and you can create some very intense, unusual, like this case, very dark gothic effects. Maybe go with that. But also, what you've also got, if you go to layers, you'll notice you've got here, you've got the background, it's exactly the same. So you can go here to blend modes and again go through these, and you can blend and try out different settings here as well. Maybe go with that one, divide, creates a very interesting effect. But I'm going to go with normal. So normal, parametric you can set there, and also you can always add additional effects. You don't have to just go with one. You could also just duplicate this smart object as well and then combine that. Or just go over here and you can always resize, and it will come up this panel and you can resize it, tweak it, rotate it, move it around, and you can see you can create some interesting combinations with the original image as well. Of course, you don't have to use the select subject. You could just use a normal selection. So rectangular marquee tool, just use that, and then just select an area. Maybe use the circular one as well. That's another option. Again, here, just go to Filter, Parametric Filters, and then go here. Chromatic there. And again, that effect is just applied to that area. So you can create a really interesting slice of information. Great effect, but you can also then go and select a different area. So let's just go back to the layers, go here to the background. Now don't select this. No point in doing that. But you can select this and maybe select this area. With this area, do exactly the same as before. Filter and go to Parametric Filters. Chromatic, just click there. And now you can see you've got the effect again. Obviously, unless you change the settings, it's going to be much the same. But you can also, if you want, just change those settings just for that bit. And you can tweak it and create some very interesting, especially if you'd like decide to change the angle for different areas. So maybe change the angle like that, create that effect, and then go to blur intensity, maybe make it slightly more blurry. Glow intensity, again, it's one of those ones that very subtle glow intensity. I wish they'd made it a bit stronger. And also change the scale, so you can make it like zoom in, which is a bit hard to control. It's probably best to use the actual edit text box there and just go in and put like 1.3, 1.2. If you put 1.7, it will probably completely go off and you won't see any part of the image. Also, you've got repeat and other options. With the layers, you can go here and again, make certain you select the background and then select again another part. You may, instead of selecting just, you can actually select crossways. Maybe use that. And again, go here, chromatic, click there, and you can see then you end up with this going crossways. And you've got multiple layers here, which of course, with multiple layers, you can change the settings. They're all independent. And again, you can change here, go down here to the transform, set the scale. You boost it up, change that. But you've got all the blends. So with all these layers, you can select this one instead of normal, maybe go for darken or color burn, or maybe go for lighten. Maybe go to this one and then go here and go for overlay and soft light. Create a weird combination. Now, of course, once you've created your effect, you obviously literally create crisscross designs, all kinds of things, maybe use elliptical selections. Well, you can then go to layer and you can flatten the image. And then you can go to layers and of course you can use exactly the same as before. Go to selections and select a different part of the image. And again, filter and parametric filter and then chromatic, or one of the others. And you can see then you can build up another set of different reds, greens, blues, intensity, etc. Maybe again use the scale just to tweak it just slightly. Again, it's not the most controllable slider, so a slight change and you'll notice you get different effects very quickly. Hope you found this of interest. Any questions, please let me know in the comments below. A like or dislike, always appreciated. Thank you much.